In a courtroom devoid of any Trump family members, the hush money trial against Donald Trump took a pivotal turn. The day started with the judge calling for a hearing to deliberate if Trump should be held in contempt for violating a gag order imposed by Judge Juan Merchan. The atmosphere was heavy with tension as Prosecutor Conroy accused Trump's ominous social media posts of being more than a cause for concern. Conroy rejected the Trump team's argument that the former president's posts were merely defensive moves in his role as a presidential candidate, not as a criminal defendant. Throwing MAGA into a post doesn't make it political, Conroy stated assertively. If anything, it makes it more ominous. Conroy then countered the Trump team's assertion that the defendant's reposts on social media did not violate the gag order. He insisted that such an argument flies in the face of common sense. Trump's lawyer, quick to respond, maintaining that there was no intentional violation of the gag order. Yet the judge remained unconvinced. The frustration was clear in his tone as he questioned the credibility of Trump's lawyer. Adding fuel to the fire, Conroy described how Trump quoted Fox News host Jesse Waters, alleging that undercover liberal activists were duping the judge to get onto the jury. However, Waters had not mentioned the jury in his on-air comments. Conroy highlighted that Trump had added that element himself. The tantalizing prospect of putting Trump under oath was hinted at, a move that could drastically alter the trial's dynamics. However, the judge held his decision back for the time being and called for a respite. As the courtroom cleared out for a brief recess, the anticipation was palpable. Next on the stand was David Pecker, a pivotal player whose testimony could potentially sway the direction of the trial. As the courtroom emptied for the recess, the buzz of anticipation was briefly replaced by the hum of smartphones. Moments after the tense exchange in court, Trump had taken to social media, turning the courtroom drama into a public spectacle. Highly conflicted, to put it mildly, Judge Juan Merchan has taken away my constitutional right to free speech. Trump's post on Truth Social read, the all-caps message echoing the intensity of his frustration. Everybody is allowed to talk and lie about me, but I am not allowed to defend myself. The former president didn't stop there, though. He further accused the court of bias, dubbing it a kangaroo court, and demanding that Judge Merchan recuse himself. This was a direct contradiction to the defense's earlier assertion that there was no intentional violation of the gag order. Trump's outburst on social media was a bold move, one that could potentially tip the scales of the trial. However, it was also a risky one. Judge Merchan had already denied a motion from the defense that he recuse himself from the trial. With this new development, the tension in the courtroom was set to escalate even further as the trial resumed with David Pecker's testimony. After the brief intermission, David Pecker took center stage, ready to reveal the specifics of his transactions with Trump. Pecker, a media titan in his own right, began by illuminating the nature of his relationship with Trump, which had originated from a straightforward business deal. Paying Trump for news from his popular show, The Apprentice, Pecker laid the foundation for their subsequent partnerships. Their collaborative efforts weren't just limited to business dealings. Together they established a magazine, a project that solidified their alliance. According to Pecker, he saw Donald as a kindred spirit, a sentiment that may have swayed his involvement in the actions that followed. Pecker's account shifted towards the rise of Trump's fame following The Apprentice. The reality TV show was a turning point, catapulting Trump's status to unprecedented levels. This elevated standing made Trump a vital asset to Pecker and the National Enquirer. A significant event in their friendship occurred in 2015, when Pecker, Trump, and Michael Cohen, Trump's personal lawyer, convened a confidential meeting. The specifics of this meeting are still unknown, but its role in the ensuing events is indisputable. It was during this meeting that Pecker agreed to use the National Enquirer to benefit Trump by offering favorable coverage of him and unfavorable coverage of his rivals. Pecker also revealed how women, enchanted by Trump's charm and status, would contact magazines like the National Enquirer to sell their stories about him. Despite Trump being married at the time, Pecker portrayed him as the most eligible bachelor who dated the most beautiful women, offering an intriguing glimpse into the media's portrayal of Trump's personal life. In exploring the inner workings of the National Enquirer, the tabloid under his control, Pecker revealed his tactic of buying stories from individuals and using these accounts for varied purposes. Some were used to boost sales, while others were hidden to protect specific individuals. Pecker's testimony had already unveiled much about the secretive operations. Even so, the most shocking revelations were yet to be disclosed. Following the bombshell testimony, the spotlight shifted to Prosecutor Joshua Steinglass, who was tasked with questioning David Pecker. He began by asking about the ultimate objective of the arrangement that involved Pecker notifying Michael Cohen about negative stories about Trump and other women. Pecker, appearing slightly taken aback, responded, he would try to vet it himself, see if the story was true or not. This revelation suggested a level of scrutiny and control that went beyond mere business dealings. The conversation then moved towards the aftermath of the Republican presidential debates. Pecker divulged that Cohen would call him following these debates. Depending on the success of other GOP candidates, Cohen would direct Pecker and National Enquirer editor-in-chief Dylan Howard on which candidate to target next. This tactic, while not entirely surprising, offered a glimpse into the strategic maneuvers behind the media coverage during the election period. As the scene drew to a close, the stage was set for the explosive revelations that were to follow. The courtroom, already buzzing with the aftershocks of Pecker's testimony, braced itself for the heart of the matter: the hush money payments and the suppressing of damaging stories about Trump. The audience, both in the courtroom and watching from homes around the country, waited with bated breath as the narrative began to unfold in earnest. Before we delve deeper into the crux of the matter, let's examine another enlightening part of Pecker's deposition. Pecker divulged that during the 2016 GOP primary, the National Enquirer consciously aimed and released detrimental articles about Trump's contenders, including Texas Senator Ted Cruz. The focus shifted on a specific Enquirer article that linked Republican Senator's father, Rafael Cruz, with Lee Harvey Oswald, the notorious murderer of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. With a certain level of audacity, Pecker revealed that the article was the brainchild of the former Enquirer editor-in-chief, Dylan Howard, and the magazine's research department. We mashed the photos and another picture with Lee Harvey Oswald. We merged the two images, he admitted in court. This is how that story was conceived, or rather, I would say, fabricated. Trump, engrossed in the intense 2016 GOP primary, leveraged this Enquirer article as a cornerstone for his conspiracy theory, asserting that the tabloid's declaration of having photographic proof linking the senior Cruz and Oswald was indeed believable. Then Pecker dug deeper into the central issue: the hush money, the silencing of damaging stories about Trump. The intriguing part came when he spoke about a particular story of Trump's doorman. According to the doorman, Trump had fathered an illegitimate child with the housekeeper working at his penthouse. Pecker confessed that he negotiated to pay a whopping $30,000 for this story sourced by the doorman. He even admitted that the story was likely false, but he paid for it nonetheless, showcasing the extent of measures taken to maintain specific narratives. "I'll pay for it," Pecker said during his deposition, recalling his conversation with Cohen. "This'll be a very big story. I believe it's important he should be removed from the market, so we'll acquire the story." Interestingly, Pecker did not publish the doorman's story until after the 2016 election at Cohen's request. Pecker then turned to the Karen McDougal topic, a former Playboy model who alleged an affair with Trump. He recollected a conversation with Trump about McDougal, suggesting a deeper involvement than initially suspected. Intriguingly, he also disclosed that Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, had advised him to cease using a landline and switch to Signal instead. This transition to a safer, encrypted form of communication indicated a need for more secrecy, a desire to keep their discussions away from eavesdroppers. Amid these revelations, Trump exited the courtroom, denouncing the gag order as unconstitutional. His exit, along with his criticism, underlined the growing tension throughout the day. As the day concluded, the courtroom vibrated with the reverberations of Pecker's testimony. The consequences of these disclosures potentially alter the direction of Trump's trial. The puzzle pieces began to assemble, illustrating a picture of secrecy, manipulation, and power dynamics. As we anticipate the next twist, the question lingers. What will be the ultimate impact of these explosive disclosures? If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the courtroom drama, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more explosive revelations and intriguing insights. We value your thoughts and perspectives, so we encourage you to share them with us. Did Pecker's testimony change your perspective on the 2016 GOP primary and the extent of media manipulation? Has it altered your understanding of the power dynamics at play? Remember, we thrive on your feedback and engagement, so let us know in the comments below. Stay tuned for the next twist in this riveting courtroom saga. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep engaging. We'll see you in the comments.